Hi guys, this is Mike G from Mr. GTV. This is my point of view, and you're listening now in the background to local Hua Hin radio station in Thailand, where you're going to hear in a moment the news presented by the BBC, which is the British Broadcasting Association or Corporation. But a lot of people, including me, believe that it's the British Bullshit Association Corporation. Just listen to what they say in a moment. This is how they spread their agenda globally. And just make note of how much good news is there and how much bad news is there. Because bad news doesn't sell. And bad news doesn't put you into fear and chaos and victim, which is, in my opinion, what the media's all about. Even this nice music that's on now is what actually gets promoted and hits the top 20 or the hit parade or whatever words you want to say. Listen to the music, listen to the words. I know you used to be this. It's all sad songs like Adele. There's nothing edifying, there's no happy song music, there's very little positive music, there's no positive news, and this is all to keep you in victim and to keep and to think, well, somebody else is suffering, here's a sad song and that justifies my sad life. Well, don't have a sad life, don't listen to sad songs, listen to the news in a minute, you'll hear it announced in a minute. Messed up, but God, was it fun? I know it used to be wild. That's 'cause I used to be young. I know I used to be crazy. You know, what sort of lyrics is that? If you were writing a song, would you have those as your lyrics? It's quite interesting, isn't it, the theme of all the soaps on television, all the series, which are all like Coronation Street and EastEnders and Emmerdale in Britain. I don't know what you've got in your country.
This is Surf Radio.
Surf Radio. Here's the news. Listen to this.
And online at surf.radio.
Serving Hawaiian and along the Royal Coast.
Marley Vista by Orchid Palm Homes is our 13th development.
So here's the adverts. The news will come next. Stay tuned. You'll find it interesting. I do.
Comes fully furnished with European kitchen, appliances and landscape garden. Orchid Palm Homes, building confidence in Hua Hin. Located near Soi 112, just a 10-minute drive to Blueport, downtown and the beach. Email sales@orchidpalmhomes.com or see our Facebook page, Orchid Palm Home. Orchid Palm Homes, building confidence in Hua Hin.
Surf Radio 102.5 คลื่นฮิตอินเตอร์ตลอด 24 ชั่วโมง
Here's the news.
BBC News is brought to you by Baba Beach Club Hua Hin.
Now we join the BBC live from London via satellite for the latest news.
More bullshit.
Hello, I'm Chris Barrow with the BBC News. The annual UN Climate Change Summit has
Climate
opened
change.
with calls to turn promises into action, but with clear divisions on how to achieve this. The UN Secretary-General, Antonio Guterres, has said fossil fuels had to be phased out to help limit rises in global temperatures. But while the head of the summit in Dubai, Sultan Al Jaber, urged countries to overcome disagreements, he said fossil fuels must still play a role.
It is essential that no issue is left off the table. And yes, as I have been saying, we must look for ways and ensure the inclusion of the role of fossil fuels.
Ahead of the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Dubai, the Indian government has said burning coal will continue to be the country's main source of power for years to come.
Quite
Here's
agree.
David Liddell.
Quite agree.
India depends on coal for nearly 3/4 of its energy needs. Now it's rushing to add 17 gigawatts of coal-based capacity to meet a record increase in energy demand that would serve many millions of homes. But it's a difficult message for the UN Climate Summit in Dubai. The impetus there is to bring an end to coal-fired and other fossil-fueled power generation as fast as possible to meet net zero emissions targets by 2050.
You'll never meet net
India,
zero.
together with China, argues that historically they have contributed far less to global emissions compared to developed countries.
The
Flawed
US Secretary of
science.
State Antony Blinken has been meeting the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to
War.
discuss the Gaza conflict. Mr. Blinken, who's on his third visit to Tel Aviv since the crisis began,
Crisis.
also attended a meeting of Israel's war cabinet. Earlier, he called for the 7-day pause in fighting to be further extended. Our Middle East correspondent Hugo Beshega reports from Jerusalem.
International efforts continue to further prolong the truce between Israel and Hamas after a one-day extension was agreed earlier today. Visiting Tel Aviv,
If you
the
believe
US
that our
Secretary of State
governments
Antony
want a
Blinken
ceasefire,
said the current deal had
then you
led
need to
to
look
positive
at
results. Hostages held by Hamas
the
have been
alternative
released,
view,
he
which
said.
is that
The more aid was
see who
being sent to
benefits from
Gaza
war.
as a humanitarian
Follow the money.
crisis continues. Shortly after the last-minute extension was announced, gunmen killed 3 Israelis at a bus stop in Jerusalem. Israeli security officials said the attackers were 2 Palestinian brothers who were shot dead at the scene.
Russia's Supreme Court has declared what the government calls the International LGBT Public Movement an extremist organisation and has banned its purported activities on Russian territory.
Here's another divisive
Groups
piece of news.
say no such organisation exists and fear the ruling will be used to target a wide range of activists. They now face prosecution for something as simple as displaying the rainbow flag. This is the World News from the BBC.
How much good news was there? Let's see what comes next.
BBC Live from London.
Hey, beach lovers, ready for a laid-back getaway? Check out Baba
Was that
Beach
it?
Club Hua Hin, just 7 minutes
War?
south of Chatham.
Climate
Everything
change?
you need for an amazing vacay is right
Fear?
here. Private beach,
Where's the good
luxury
news?
amenities, and unparalleled
Where's the
food
positive
and drink
news?
selections. Perfect for special occasions. And if you have a little work to finish, well, the view is fantastic. Just right for generating fresh ideas. Facebook, Baba Beach Club Hua Hin. Prepare to chill.
New vehicles and great service are what we're all about at Mazda Hua Hin. We speak English.
So there you
call
go,
and
that's
check
the
out
local news. 3 pieces of news, 2 wars and climate change. Russia, Ukraine, Israel, Palestine, and climate change. Now, 20 degrees here today. 0 in North Wales where I used to live, and minus temperatures in Manchester where I was born. Never heard much about climate change other than this net zero. And have a look who's benefiting from that with the green energy lobby that they're bringing out. I mean, it's exactly like, you know, Virgin Atlantic have just done the first green fuel. Do you believe in that? Do you actually believe any of that? I mean, a long time ago they made us get rid of our petrol cars for diesel, and now you can't have a diesel car, you've got to have an electric, and we know that electric cars is flawed technology, we know infrastructure to charge anything up, totally dangerous, out of the price range of most people, and once you've had an electric car for sort of like 7 years, the batteries are no good, it costs the price of the car to change them, and they're not recyclable. So, you know, I'm not on my soapbox as much as pointing out the obvious if you open your eyes and see what it's about, but you know, you need to open your eyes and realise that it's all lies, and it's all being presented by the BBC and, to be fair, other organisations who are all sponsored and paid to push an agenda which doesn't benefit you and me. So what you do with this is your decision, but I would say step into your power, open your eyes, realise that most of it from the BBC is bullshit, as I've said, and other organisations that are all owned by the same people when you get to the top of the pyramid, and just have the best life that you can. This is my point of view, you're entitled to disagree, but let's hear from you guys. What do you think? Be powerful. Everything on Mr. GTV is offered for free with love, constructively. Keep it constructive, even if you disagree. All points of views are valued. Be powerful, guys.